Tonight, this Salem motel is drawing a steady stream of customers, but a sign of what happened here just yesterday still remain. Officers arrested 31-year-old Jeremy Young and this Salem family. People nearby say the bust was no surprise. In this case, police say the suspects bounced from Salem to Corvallis and Albany making and selling meth. This bust led them to something rare. Detectives found this foreign money and a set of 23 keys, all likely stolen in a home burglary. Guests say it all has them on edge. Meantime, the room remains closed, but customers keep coming.
As we work out in the community helping citizens address and deal with various problems, there's an underlying problem that's impacting all of our families, and that problem is methamphetamines. This dangerous drug and destructive drug is destroying families. It's impacting our livability and way of life in this county. And you know, being a law enforcement official, we see the destruction daily. And you know, how do you repair that destruction when it tears families apart? When you see individuals slowly dying from the chemicals that they put into their system with this very dangerous and deadly drug.
We knock on the door, it's just a mere contact. Once you get in, it's obvious that there's something going on. You pray that there's no kids involved. The smell just hits you. It's either rotting food, moldy clothes, sometimes a chemical smell. People are keeping things in the house that they should be keeping in the garage, like gas. Just an overall sense of disarray and stench. There's no organization. The kitchen, there's like little time capsules of rotting food. You know, that looks like a Monday, that looks like a Tuesday, and that looks like last month. And that's the way they live. They just set it aside until they run out of room. And when they run out of room, it ends up on the floor. The fridge sometimes works, sometimes it doesn't, and that adds to the smell. They're still using it because there's some semblance of cold. Sometimes not. Sometimes it's just a place to store stuff. Piles of clothes, maybe near the laundry room, maybe not. Sometimes there's lights, sometimes there's not. Sometimes there's heat, sometimes there's not. Hot water doesn't seem to be very plentiful in these houses for some reason. More often than not, they're stealing power with an extension cord from the neighbors.
I've been a judge for 10 years, and I knew that we had a meth problem in the community. You can't sit downtown in criminal court and not understand that drugs are a real problem. But it wasn't until 2 years ago when I came out here to juvenile court that I really began to witness the devastation that meth brings to our community. Almost every week there is a baby born in Salem Hospital whose mother has ingested meth while pregnant. I suspect that you can get meth in any high school in this town. I suspect that you can get meth in any middle school in this community. I have children come before this court, 11, 12, 13, using meth.
The methamphetamine problem in Salem is a growing concern throughout our community, and it's affecting not just U.S. Bank, but all the banks in our market. Methamphetamine is a root cause for so many things. The robberies, the fraud issues, ATM fraud, overdraft fraud, you name it. It's a growing concern.
I see an increase in property theft claims turned in by insureds, business auto theft, personal autos. And yeah, it does make a difference in the rates. The comprehensive premium on an auto policy, statistics show that about a third of that is as a result of theft.
The methamphetamine problem that we've been associated with, typically we find it when we have pilfering in our construction vehicles, tools missing. We have people that may come through our business property and they're looking for something quick that they can sell. Also on a personal level, we've had people break into our automobiles, break out the windows, take things. With drug use, you've got people that they've got to get the quick cash, and so they resort to the thieving, the stealing, the petty crimes, that sort of thing.
There's no question in my mind that the impact of methamphetamines is dramatic. I've been involved in foreclosing properties that have been contaminated by meth. I've been involved in evicting tenants involved in meth. I've been involved in dealing with apartment community problems because children are exposed to risk because of meth. I've seen family disputes in certain legal relationships pulled apart because of meth use. I've had people with problems with their neighbors. It's just really almost an endless impact at this point that I see. It just seems to come from all angles.
Methamphetamine use has permeated all levels of service at the health department. One of the most distressing factors is how young children are being affected, and that's through some of our screening and prevention programs in the schools that I've identified kids as young as 11 who are into pretty strong methamphetamine use. One of the contributing factors to needing a mental health screener in our jail is methamphetamine use. We have a full-time mental health specialist in the jail. All that they do is screen folks coming into the jail who've been arrested and they suspect some type of mental health issue. From 40 to 60% of those clients then are found to have had methamphetamine use.
The average citizen just at this point in time is not to be out on the street, especially if they're past age 60 and in some way handicapped, particularly women, because methamphetamine users lose their sense of reasoning as a part of the drug process, and they will take down anybody they think they can get any money from to provide a supply of their drug to support the habit, that kind of thing. I won't let my wife go out as she used to do in this neighborhood by herself.
I mean, I knew I was going to get caught eventually. I'll be 26 next month. I've been doing this for a lot of years. I have a 2-year-old son, but I have a 70-year-old grandmother watching. I have an 8-year-old son whose father just got busted for growing marijuana. I'm young. I have a lot in front of me. I'm sitting in here doing nothing with my life.
You see homes like that. That is why you see the kids and animals abused in such a manner, because there's nothing left over for them. There's no money left, there's no food left, and there's no emotion left, mom and dad, because they're physically drained by their methamphetamine use. They stay up for 3 or 4 days. And there's no playtime left for Junior, and there's no affection left because they're out running around stealing stuff, writing bad checks, and being an overall criminal, because we all know they don't work. They're going to steal things. They're going to steal your identity. They're going to steal your property. They're going to steal your cars. 85% of all crime in our city is generated by one thing, and I think the statistics are even more now. One thing generates 85% of all crime in our city, and that's methamphetamine. Tell me we don't have a problem.